All right. Good afternoon, dear students of early childhood care and education. Today, we're going to look at methods and approaches that we use in early childhood care and education. But to begin with, we are going to define, first of all, the term methods and approaches. But for today, I want us to deal with the term method first, then later we shall deal with the term approach. To begin with, we shall define the term method. According to the document displayed on your screen, a method refers to the mode that a teacher employs to enable children learn successfully. Here we are meaning when we say that a method is a mode, it is a communication channel. Today I am communicating to you through this video lesson using my phone. Now my phone is the physical gadget that is acting as a method that I am using to communicate right to you. So, even when we are teaching children, we should have gadgets called methods in this case that we must effectively use to be able to communicate the required content, the required subject matter to our children at the age of 3 to 6 years. Now, in our document, we continued and says, it shows how the teaching and learning process will be conducted by the teacher for quality and effective learning outcome. Every lesson you have expected learning outcome. Expected learning outcome is what you expect your learners to have achieved at the end of your lesson. Me as your teacher today, I have what I expect you to learn, and I am going to tell it to you what I expect you to learn out of this lesson at the end. But then, for us to effectively teach our children, then we have to have effective methods that will cause effective teaching and learning in our children. Okay? And this effective teaching and learning should be child-centered. Actually, the major method of our concern as far as children are concerned, I am talking about the children of 3 to 6 years, is child-centered method. And the child-centered method is where the teacher carries out the guidance of the child during learning, basing on what? On the desired interest of the learner. Now, the methods that we are going to focus on should be focusing at the interest. What our children are interested in learning. If you say they are not interested in what you are telling them, please leave it, divert away from it, look for what they are interested in, build your content on that. Before we go further, we need to know, to have, and we need to discuss some of the importances of a method. Why should we have methods? For me to be effectively communicate to you, I had to have a phone. If I had no phone, then I would not be able to communicate to you. But remember, I said I am now using my phone as my communication channel, as a method to reach out to you in your different areas, wherever you are, the whole world, and all over. Now, importance number 1 says, if a method is well used, please quote, this importance starts with if. That means there is a condition. If a method is well used, that means for a method to be effectively used, has to be well used. Okay, let us continue. It helps to make learning interesting, as each child will be involved in the learning process and thus feels catered for. We should look at methods that are arousing, that are motivative, that are causing interest in a child's learning life. So, we have to look for such methods that will cause interest in learning. And why are we looking at the interest? It is because it is the interest that will drive this child even to come back at school tomorrow. Otherwise, if we use a method that is boring, that is so difficult, that is not interesting, we shall not see this child back at school the next day. 2, point number 2. If the method please quote, if the method involves the use of presentation, such as demonstration, yes, it makes the learning realistic. What are we saying? Methods makes learning real. Okay? Why? Because the children will be able to see how things are done. So we should look at a method that is demonstrative, that illustrates some realities in life, things that are happening in the child's real life, things that he or she sees daily, sees often. Then that will be a very good method and important one. 3, methods helps to involve children effectively in the learning process. When we choose the right method, yes, then children will be actively involved in the learning process. So the method helps the learners to get involved. There is already connection between the teacher and the learner due to the method that we are applying during the teaching learning process. Let's take an example of role play. Okay? Role play. Role play is a method that we use to transmit information, and this one, role play, is basically all about the roles and responsibilities. Let's take a look. For example, we want to talk about the roles of parents at home, daddy and mommy. What shall we do? We have to allocate some learners as mommies and others as daddies. Then let them play those roles. And in doing so, we are bridging the gap between the school, this is the school, and then the home. Okay? Mommy and daddy is home, teacher and the child is at home. Now, child is playing as a mother, Then the child is playing as a father. What roles they play? Now they are coming back home. Okay, now we are bringing the home to school and school to home. So we shall see that the concepts that the child has learned from school will take them home, and even those that will copy from home will bring them to school. And that one is as a result of role play as an effective method of teaching our children from the age of 3 to 6 years. Okay, another importance. Methods used properly helps to bridge the gap between the school and the home. Yeah, that is what we have been explaining. There is already a bridge due to the roles, because these roles are played at home. Now we are demonstrating them from school. So there is a connection already. Okay. Next is a well-used method helps a teacher to accomplish a set objective. Dear students, every teacher must go in class with set objectives. In this lesson, I have objectives that I have set and that I have to achieve. Now, for us to be able to effectively achieve these objectives, then we must apply effective methods of transmitting our subject matter, our content to the children. Okay? A good method saves a teacher to over-explain. When you choose a good method, for example, the method is effective enough, the children knows how to do. In this case, the teacher will just give some guidance, and as well the children will act accordingly. So you will also limit your words, you limit your energy, because the lesson shall be self-driven. Okay, a method is used in a step-by-step format which promotes a systematic understanding. If we are to have a systematic teaching and learning, then we have also to have proper methods that we apply to teach. Okay? Then the other one is a good method helps the teacher to address the different needs of the learners. You know, we have learners, difference in learning. Every child has a difficulty, has a potential, but then if we apply a good method, we can cater for all these individual differences. So we have to look for a most suitable methods that shall cater for all learners' difficulties, learners' potentials, and then we shall cause effective teaching, learning. A good method helps a teacher to plan and prepare. You know, when you choose the right method, you will be a well-prepared teacher. Someone said, if you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. So if you fail to choose the right method, then you are choosing to fail children to learn. So for effective planning, you need to have methods that you are going to apply during your teaching learning process. Lastly, methods helps a teacher to plan a suitable learning materials. Learning materials. We need to plan for learning materials. But we cannot plan for the learning materials unless we have a systematic way of how we are going to use these materials. And in this case, the systematic way I am talking about is using the rightful method. Okay? So, Those are some of the importances of methods in teaching. Okay? But then, and I want to end at that for today. And when we come back, we shall look at the factors that we have to consider before selecting a particular method. We have a variety of methods, and in this case, I want to give you an assignment to go and look around for these methods that are suitable, the most suitable methods that we can use to teach children of 3 to 6 years. Please identify 5 suitable methods that you as a pre-primary teacher can apply to teach children of 3 to 6 years. Then after identifying them, please discuss them. Talk about them. Give me some of the advantages of these methods. How can we apply them practically? And then when we come back, we are going to see what factors can we consider before selecting such methods that you have already identified. Thank you so much. Let us catch up some other time. Have a good day.